Hey, Tim.
Hey, Greg.
We got a special guest in the studio today.
That's right. Somebody we've talked to not that long ago. Friend of the show, Ellen Latzen. Thanks so much for joining us again.
Thanks for having me back. I'm thrilled to be here.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, what has been going on, Ellen? What's new? What's your
Hey,
summer been like?
it's been a busy year so far since I saw you guys last. I actually filmed a movie.
Awesome.
Very cool.
It's a director's cut of a horror film called The Forest Hills, and the director wanted to kind of flesh it out a little bit, and so he asked me if I wanted to play a role in it. I said yeah, and I can't give away any of the details because what would be the fun in that, but finished wrapping that in the beginning of the summer,
Okay.
and else than that, just been trying to spend some time with my kid and my family, and try not to melt in this crazy heat.
Yeah, it's been a warm summer in the Lehigh Valley. So, yeah.
Big time.
Where can we find the movie?
Good question. TBD.
TBD. Okay.
Yeah. So currently the regular film is being streamed on Tubi,
Oh, yeah.
but I don't recommend watching that version.
Why there is a director's version.
Right, exactly. So we're hoping for a theatrical release at some point in early 27. So it's going to be a minute, but yeah. So I'll let you know for sure.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Now, can you share location? Was it shot somewhere?
Yeah,
around
it was
here?
shot out on Long Island
Okay.
and also up in Saugerties, New York.
Okay.
Yeah, it's supposed to take place in the Catskills.
Okay.
Yeah, so
That's a good setting for a horror movie. you know?
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
In the woods
Yeah.
and creepy kind of upstate New York vibe.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
One of my first memories of like hearing about a horror movie, I think I was in kindergarten, and one of the kid's older brothers had made this kid watch Friday the 13th. And so he's describing Friday the 13th while we're on a school bus at night, driving down like wooded roads. And as he's telling it, I don't know this is a movie. Like, I'm a little kid, and I'm just
Right.
thinking like, oh dear Lord, this is going to happen right now on this bus, this crazy guy with well, I guess in the first one, it's not actually, it's more, I guess, the mother than Jason himself, because he hasn't actually become,
Yeah.
Jason at that point. Anyway,
I haven't seen any of the Friday the 13th
Oh, really?
movies.
Oh,
Yeah, no.
wow.
Well, first of all, horror is not really my genre. The horror films that I enjoy are kind of like John Carpenter. The Thing is
Yeah, yeah.
is my favorite, but that's less so horror than it is kind of suspense,
Suspense, yeah.
and
Yeah.
thriller, and but the original Halloween, maybe Halloween 2. But when I was a kid, it was the Nightmare on Elm Street movies that
Okay,
that
yeah.
I enjoyed watching.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because Freddie had a sense of humor.
He did. Yeah. Now, I know we've talked about this before, but there's a documentary on Netflix called The Movies That Made Us.
Oh, right,
And it's
yes.
the horror movies. Have you ever watched that?
No.
It's pretty interesting because I wasn't like huge into horror either when I was, younger. But to see the behind the scenes of how some of that stuff was made, it's pretty interesting.
I
and,
bet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be interested in that. I should
Yeah.
check it out.
Yeah. And you mentioned Freddy. There's a whole bit about how there's the scene with like the just never ending blood coming out at the bed. And when they shot that, it was like they didn't account for how much volume and liquid was involved, and it almost went like horribly wrong because it's like they're like, this thing's gonna break, and it's just gonna
Yeah.
be this like tidal wave, through the soundstage. So it's kind of cool. So
Totally.
yeah.
As a kid, Friday the 13th, I actually went camping in one of the places where they filmed.
Oh,
original
Camp Silver
movie.
Lake, or what the hell is
There
it?
was like 3 or 4 of them that they filmed locations at.
Right.
And, yeah. So that was
That's
kind of
fun.
cool.
Was
Yeah.
it creepy?
As a little kid, you're just laughing. It didn't really bother me.
Right.
Yeah.
That's probably because I didn't see the movie yet.
Oh, yeah. That
Yeah.
might have made a difference.
Took a little while for me to see that one. But like Tim, you hear from your friends, like, you get more scared about what people tell you, and
Yeah.
so-
When we talked about this too, like E.T., there's the scene with the corn, and
Is that where he dies?
no, it's in the beginning when he first like comes out of like when I think it's Elliot sitting out in the backyard,
Mm-hmm.
and he like hears something, and then there's the whole scene with the Reese's Pieces and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, right.
So I grew up like literally cornfields every every side of my house was
Yep.
corn, and it didn't freak me out as much. But my brother, he was 3 years older. He was like super scared, like I can't go outside because E.T. is gonna come walking out of the corn.
You know, E.T. is rated PG, I think, but that movie scared the shit out of me when I saw it as a
Yeah.
kid.
Yes.
And, you know, it's like recommended as viewing for children. And I'm like,
Yeah.
no way.
Yeah,
When he turns white, I was like crying.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
very-
Yeah, it's
I was-
upsetting.
no, serious emotional roller coaster on that one.
Well,
yeah.
but there are a lot of 80s movies that were, you know, deemed appropriate
Yeah.
for kids that really were not. Like Return to Oz. Did you guys
I did
see that
not
movie?
see that, but I've heard stories.
It was like one of my favorite movies as a kid, but you know, that I guess it appealed to my more demented side. But looking back, I mean, it's been years since I've seen it, but I was discussing it with a friend of mine recently, and we were agreeing that it definitely was not very appropriate for kids.
Yeah. Well, and I think we've been learning that a lot with this podcast, is that we're watching all these old classic, you know,
Mhm.
80s movies, and you watch and you're like, ooh, that did not age very well,
Right.
you know, and even the rating system, like you said, it's like, okay, that seems like maybe on the verge of R, and it was PG, and you're
Oh,
like,
yeah.
okay. Yeah. That's why we're this generation that just, you know, nothing phases us because we were exposed to pretty much everything.
Gen Z, man.
Yeah.
We can handle it.
Yeah.
One of the things that I saw on Instagram was my theory for this generation as to why we're messed up is we all saw one inappropriate Stephen King movie when we were way too young.
For me, it was Silver Bullet.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that movie also scared the shit out of me. And also Pet Cemetery. That was a scary one.
That was a rough one. With the kid under the bed with the thing. I don't know. Yeah.
I haven't seen it in a long time.
Yeah. No.
I tried out for that movie, in fact.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Yeah, long time ago. Didn't
That's
come
cool.
to be.
Probably for the best. It would have left like scars that would have been
Yeah,
difficult to get rid of.
I had
Yeah.
other scars from, you know, some of the scary things that I did as
Yeah.
a kid. So it's probably enough.
I think the one that always, like, no matter how old I get, I always come back to was Puppet Master.
Oh, I don't think I ever saw that one.
That movie freaked me out beyond belief.
Was that a Stephen King film? Or
I don't think it was.
Yeah, I don't
no.
think so.
But it had these little, you know, they were little puppets. Like, you could kick them and they wouldn't do it, but somehow they could, like, you know, do all these horrible things to people.
Yeah.
It was a messed up movie.
Did you ever see Killer Clowns from Outer Space?
Yeah.
Years ago.
That was something special.
Yeah.
The cheesier the better, right?
It's true, but I
Yeah.
mean, even now, and it's been decades since I've seen it, but I think that if I were to watch it now, it would trigger that part of me, that, you know, 6-year-old Ellen that watched it for the first time, and the clowns are scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And clowns are scary as it is, but they, you know, with their sharp teeth and their demonic faces, I mean, yikes.
Not, yeah.
And not that that movie was intended for kids, but kids had no business watching it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what it was like between our generation and, you know, like, we just saw so many inappropriate movies. Like, I remember being, the one movie you talked about being scared with Puppet Master, for me was Return of the Living Dead. And I was like 10, maybe 9 or 10, and like I just happened to watch it with my cousins, you know, like, and like zombie movies scared me forever.
Yeah.
They still kind of scare me.
Yeah.
The zombie concept. I think I sat down to watch what was it was Z or whatever.
World War
with-
Z.
Was that the one with
Brad
Brad
Pitt?
Pitt?
Yeah.
Yeah, I made it like 5 minutes into that movie. And I was like,
We must have
"No,
been
I'm not
watching it at the
this."
same time.
Yeah.
Because I was like, twitchy zombies, I'm out. I'm good.
Yeah, no. It's and as zombie movies go, I think the one that I actually really enjoyed was 28 Days Later.
Mm.
That was a phenomenal film. Also very creepy
Yeah.
and scary, but yeah, World War Z, I could click.
Yeah.
And they're coming out with a third. I didn't see, they had 28 Days Later, then they had
28 years later.
Yeah.
I did see that. And I think it came out originally in 04.
Yeah, I think so.
So then I guess it's the math on that.
Too much.
32 years later.
Yeah, I can't.
Or 2032, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of far off. Just a pre-production on that one.
Yeah. Well, we've touched on a lot of movies here, but I think we all talking about one of our favorites going back to the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
85, big year, considering
Mhm.
it's 2025. And that was the Goonies.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was my favorite of that genre of movie as a kid, and still one of my most favorites to this day.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking about it because I was trying to remember, did I see it when it came out? Because I would have been like 9, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, no, I don't remember seeing it in the theater. And then I realized my mom had just had my youngest sister that April.
Mm-hmm.
So we had like a 2-3-month-old baby in the house. My mom wasn't taking us to a movie that summer.
Probably
so
not.
I did not see it in the theater.
I definitely didn't see it in the theater, but we for sure had it on VHS as soon as it would have come out. So
Yeah.
I've definitely been watching it the last 40 years.
Yeah.
I definitely saw it in the theater.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember my dad complaining that he couldn't hear the kids talking because, not used to all these little kids talk
Right.
over each other. But and yeah, it was the movie that made me love movies.
Yeah.
Like as a 10-year-old, big screen, you're like, oh my gosh, I love these characters and just the adventure, everything about it was fantastic.
Here's where it starts. We're
Yeah.
watching it here in the studio, and it's, oh man, we missed the truffle shuffle. Too busy talking. But yeah, I mean, it's as a kid, and it's funny because I've heard people say that it doesn't land as well with kids these days, and I think that that's certainly true because this is my husband's favorite movie of all time, and we showed it to my stepkids recently. My 6-year-old, she always falls asleep, so she's worthless as far as being able to make it through a movie. But my 11-year-old stepdaughter, she's always on her phone, and she's super into like K-pop and all this other shit. And we generally show them a lot of like classic movies from our youth because of course we subjectively feel that they're the best. And we were waiting for Goonies to come back on streaming because it will come on and then it'll come off, and so finally I was like, oh, it's back, we gotta show them. And we basically had to like nail her to the seat in order to watch it, and I think that it was our approach that kind of gave her an attitude about it, but it didn't resonate with her in the way that it did for us, and that's so upsetting to me because the movie is timeless. Like, and I can try to say that objectively, but and the adventure, like you say, and just everything that they go through, and just from beginning to end, the movie is perfect. Yeah. And it draws you in from the music to the characters to the action sequences to the jokes to everything. It's an 11 out of 10. And I think it really shaped our youth.
Oh yeah.
At least like and those that were kids in the 80s, because I have older cousins who are also Gen X that I think my cousin Wendy, she was born in 65. She'd never seen the Goonies. And I'm
wow.
What? So she was 20 when it came out. So I think that it didn't appeal to her as much because she was older. But for those of us that were youth when this movie came out, it was directed to us.
Yeah. Well, and I think so much of it too, it speaks to like how we grew up, where you could go on these like epic all-day adventures, and your parents were like, whatever. Yeah. There wasn't a like, well, they've been gone for 7 minutes. Let me check Life 360.
This is the ultimate Latch-Key kid movie.
Yeah.
Because
on their bikes.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Out
totally.
the door. Yeah.
Yeah, and like just seeing that scene when they get on their BMX bikes, it's just like, okay, it's on. Something awesome is going to happen today. And so great.
I know.
I think it's funny too, like, and I guess this is just watching stuff as an adult, like how many things that I pay attention to now that when I watched as a kid I could have cared less, but like when Mouth first appears and he's got on his gray members only jacket, you're like, oh yeah, I remember those. I remember mine. I had a burgundy one.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but I think it was on sale because nobody wanted a burgundy one.
Right.
Everyone wanted black or gray. But I had this members only with the snaps on the shoulders. Yep. I thought it was the coolest kid in school.
The epitome of the 80s.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of any parts that when we watched it most recently because I feel like there are moments that even though I watched this movie easily 50 times, there are things that you kind of miss because there's so many little nuances and details and I feel like there were definitely some that I hadn't caught before, but I don't remember what they are.
Well, I think, like, you know, those little nuances, like, I think when they first show outside the house with all the mailboxes, someone had, like, with paint put, like, them, us, them, like, across the mailboxes or something like that.
Really?
And it was, like, one of those things I noticed when I watched it most recently, but never in all the other times even
As an
paid
adult?
attention to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
How many times do you think you guys have seen the movie?
I don't know that I've seen it 50 times, but I've
Yeah.
definitely seen it a lot. Yeah. It's, and it for me, it always, like, certain movies, like, you watch them as a kid and then you might watch them again as a, like, 20 something or 30 something, but you don't keep going back to it.
Mm-hmm.
But this was one that whenever it was on or I had access to it, I'd just be like, oh, it's on.
Right.
And 2 hours later, I'd get up from, you know, watching it because it just pulls me right in.
Yeah. Well, and I think with movies like this, it takes you back to where you were at that point, and it really just, like, pulls on the same
Yeah.
heartstrings, and
Mhm.
you're sitting there as your 9-year-old or 10-year-old or, you know, 5-year-old self,
Yeah.
and that's so beautiful.
Yeah.
And that's one of the really amazing things about this movie is that, you know, it's so classic, and I'm, like, welling up just kind of thinking about this because I just love it so much that it connects you back in, I mean, hopefully all the best ways. I mean, it does for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I just didn't. You know, when you get disappointed when you sit your kids down and say, "Let's watch this. This movie's great," and they're on their phone. They're like, "This is dumb." The one that hurt me the most was The Breakfast Club. But you know, they're like, "It's not that good of a movie." Blah blah blah. And you know, looking at it from their perspective, it's kids' social is, you know, the social groups. It's not like that at all anymore.
Mhm.
So you know, you kind of understand why they don't get it. But it's still a great movie.
How old were your kids?
So I probably like 15 when I showed them The Breakfast
Okay,
Club.
so they were in
High school.
high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that I considered that my favorite movie for many, many, many years, and another one that I've seen dozens of times, and another John Hughes film.
Yeah.
But I think, you know, again, this is something that is subjective because, I mean, I didn't go to high school in the 80s, and you guys didn't either.
Half a year.
Oh, right. But it didn't matter because the 80s had a certain flavor to it that you didn't have to necessarily be in high school to appreciate what was happening. And I think that they're just so far removed from it. And when they're older, I bet that they will have an appreciation for it. But I understand your heartbreak because you have such an investment in
Yeah.
the film, and you love it so much, and you want to pass it on to your kids. It's something out of pure love, and they just shit all over it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I do think the pacing has something to do with it too. Like, we're
With
okay
The Breakfast Club?
Yeah, like the pacing of it isn't as, like, intense. It's not a 30-second clip on TikTok like that is, you know, just
Mhm.
let's keep it exciting the whole time. So yeah, I think they have to be, like, convinced that you got to just enjoy the journey.
Yeah, you settle
It's
in.
not going to be, you know, Iron Man coming through the wall and shooting stuff.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. And I mean, you know, it's interesting because I don't watch really movies these days, not new movies anyway. And I know that I should because there are a lot of really amazing films that are out there. But I think when it comes to media, the way that we intake everything is through
yeah.
streaming, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, it's people don't want to watch movies anymore. They want to binge shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's funny because even with my daughter, who's 2-ish, you know, she likes, we don't have cable. We only have streaming. I mean, does anybody have cable anymore?
My parents. It's,
right,
yeah,
of course.
It's baby
Yeah.
boomers. Yeah.
Yes,
I
of
like
course.
my channel selector at the bottom. You know?
For sure. But, you know, commercials aren't a thing really.
Yeah.
Except for when we're watching YouTube. And
Yeah.
she gets all shitty when she wants to watch her Ms.
Yeah.
Rachel.
And Prilosec wants to tell you about antacid.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, very weirdly inappropriate things that come up during these shows.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, Rachel. And I'm like, you have to be patient.
Rachel needs to pay her bills. And she
Right,
needs the
exactly.
advertising money, yeah.
And, you know, you little shit. I used to have to watch, I've watched 100,000 commercials in my life, and the amount of TV that I've seen. So like, you can chill for the 5 seconds that it takes for me to hit the next button, and then the other 5 seconds to get through the next commercial. But when it comes to kids these days, they are used to intaking in their 30 second, 1 minute TikTok reels or whatever you call it. God, I sound so old. And they're not really used to like sitting down and settling in for a 90-minute 2-hour movie, unless it's like these Marvel movies, which are 5 hours long. But that's something different, and there is something happening every 2 seconds, and that the pacing is different. So I think that that's a really good point.
Well, and you mentioned the commercials. Like, I mean, that was so much of our childhood. Mikey likes it.
Where's the beef?
Exactly. Like, we can all say those things. We all know
the jingles.
Right? Yeah, totally.
These younger generations, they just didn't get that experience of having these classic, really enjoyable commercials.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that's just me being old, but I just feel like it's different.
Well, and I mean, for those that do still have commercials, I think the ones that are out there are definitely not as memorable.
Yeah.
Unless they're like the Super Bowl commercials, but those are the ones that you have to put tons of effort and money into, and they're supposed to be that way because they're vying for this very what's the word I'm looking for? Sought after spot where you're getting in front of these, hundreds of millions of eyeballs, and you have to kind of like be the funny one that everybody talks about the next day at the water cooler.
Speaking of which, we got to get a water cooler so we can do that after the Super Bowl.
Oh, there you go. Right, totally.
Yeah. So I saw this thing, we mentioned like social media and TikTok and all that somebody had put up, this is a couple of years ago, that the outfits that Wayne Knight, who plays Newman on Seinfeld, in Jurassic Park, the outfits that he wears were inspired by the Goonies. Have you guys seen this?
Yes, actually, the drawing the parallel between him and Chunk.
Yeah.
He's basically like old Chunk.
Yeah.
Yes,
so there's
I did see that recently.
There's the Hawaiian shirt one, and then at one point he's wearing the yellow slicker that Mikey's wearing. And
he wears a members only jacket.
He wears the gray
too.
members only like mouth. Yeah. So there's, I mean, it's not that hard to be like, okay, Steven Spielberg was involved in both these movies, like, but I guess there's been no official confirmation of it, but it's like,
how could there not?
Yeah, it's pretty clear. So
that is funny, and it's funny that you brought up Newman, because when we were talking about the jingles, I was thinking that Costanza.
I'm a Seinfeld addict. I have seen that show way too many times.
Well, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
It really is. Even today, even though technology changes and all of that, I still think it relates to everything in today's world.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see whether or not that show resonates with like your kids when they're older.
It doesn't.
Yeah,
I've tried.
Well, they're too young.
They're too young. It's adult themed.
Yeah,
so.
it's the humor is wasted on them at this age.
Yeah,
and just the human experience.
Right.
Of like being in a restaurant waiting.
Well, they're not cynical yet.
Yeah. Well, that's just it. Yeah. Although I think they're getting there.
Right.
They're getting there.
They're not enough.
Yeah.
A show about nothing is not something that's going to land with them.
Yeah. A few more years, maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
I do have to share with you, by the way, that when I was on my way over here, I stopped at Wawa because I wanted to get you guys a couple of Baby Ruth bars. They didn't have any.
Really?
They had a million candy bars. They had a Three Musketeers bar, but not a Baby Ruth. And I was like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
That's weird.
It is weird. Baby Ruth is one of the mainstay candy bars.
Yeah.
Why would they not have it? I mean, there was not a Baby Ruth in the house, and it's not like there was an empty slot because they were all sold out. I think that they just didn't have it in their inventory, and I just was so pissed off.
Could you look in the back, please?
Right? Yeah, you've got to have Baby Ruth here. So yeah, Wawa, if you're listening, you failed me big time. So yeah, sorry guys.
That was the thought that counts.
Yes.
But we actually just did a few episodes where we got a bunch of food from the 80s and went through it. And Zagnut was one that we were talking about that like I didn't remember having them, and they're really pretty good.
Really?
But there's nowhere, they're not to be found anywhere other than Cracker Barrel. So
Right,
I'll go there
those
and see if they have the baby
yeah,
Ruth.
I think you'd probably be able to find it at that candy store in Bethlehem. They have like the
Oh, yeah?
classic candies there. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Zagnut makes me think of Beetlejuice
Okay, yeah.
because I think when he's like living in the model, he has like a Zagnut bar or something. It's
Yeah.
like big, huge,
Yeah.
massive. I don't remember ever trying one of those.
It was different. It was coconut.
Is it nougat?
It's more like a
No.
Butterfinger, but it's got a
Oh.
coconut coating on the outside of it.
Ooh, that does not sound
No.
good to me.
It doesn't, but it was. I mean, do you like coconut bite?
No.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
that's
If
why.
you don't like coconut, then
Yeah,
it's
no,
not going to be
that's
your,
not my
your
bag.
cup of tea.
What other things did you guys try?
Oh my gosh.
The worst was Charleston Chew.
Oh, I used to love those.
Yeah.
I don't know why they're disgusting.
There's
Yeah.
so much sugar. Like, it was bad. It was bad.
Well,
But
and-
we couldn't find the original. It was a strawberry one,
Oh.
and the fake strawberry flavor with all the sugar.
Yeah.
It was weird.
Well,
yeah.
the vanilla, and they made chocolate too.
Yeah.
The nougat,
Yeah.
the nougat was chocolate, but yeah, the vanilla OG was one of my favorites when I was a kid. But I think
Okay.
it's I just ate whatever sugary
Oh, yeah.
nastiness, and they were long,
Yeah. It was a big.
right?
candy bar.
And you know, when you bit into it, it would like stretch out,
Yeah.
so it would last kind of longer. But yeah,
Yeah.
those things were not good for you.
That was pretty bad. What
Yeah.
else?
Well, we did the mallow cup, which was kind of similar.
Oh,
But
right.
those, like,
There's
it was-
caramel in that though, isn't there? In a mallow cup? Or
This
no?
one was just like the sugary mallow
Oh.
kind of center,
Yeah.
but
Mhm.
I equated it to a Cadbury egg.
Oh.
That like just like immediate sugar rush. You're just
Ugh,
like,
my mouth is watering in the worst way thinking about it. Yeah, that was another thing that I absolutely loved
Yeah.
was
The
the
mallow cup.
Cadbury. No.
Oh, the Cadbury eggs.
Yes, you could actually like taste and like feel the
Yeah,
sugar
yeah. Yeah.
granules in there, and you're like, yeah, those things are nasty.
yeah. But then we tried like other stuff besides candy. We did TV dinner with the Salisbury steak.
Oh, was that like who made that?
The ones that I remember when we were kids that we would get them, they were Swanson's.
Oh, right.
Yeah, but we got a Hungry Man because you couldn't find a Swanson's.
Yeah, I'm sure
and-
Swanson is maybe not
Yeah.
making
Yeah.
TV dinners anymore.
But yeah, it was.
That was rough.
We got some different
Yeah.
the Totino's pizza rolls.
Were you eating them as you were?
Uh-huh, yeah.
Oh man.
The first time we just talked about everything, and then we went back and we actually made
Found.
some of the stuff and found stuff, and it's probably not the greatest listen because we're
Yeah,
like,
no, I would definitely not want to listen to that one.
Yeah.
I am averse to mouth noises.
Yeah.
Don't check that one
Yeah.
out.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
So we have Goonies on in the background, and one scene came up, and I remembered I found this fact that Sean Astin got to keep the Goonies map,
Oh.
but then apparently his mom threw it away.
She thought it was just some trash.
Some
Yeah.
trash. Right? Could you imagine? Like, I'd be so upset. Did you get to ever keep anything from sets you were on?
So from Fatal Attraction, the unicorn that I had, it was mine already. So
Oh, really?
yeah, it was.
Well, it's nice they let you keep your own.
Yes,
toy.
totally. I said, this is ours
Yeah.
now.
It's going to the Smithsonian.
Right.
sorry.
Well, that would have been a worthy thing. But, no, unfortunately. Yeah, I mean, trying to think about it. Not a whole lot. There was one thing that I had from Christmas Vacation, which I found recently and is sitting in my basement.
Nice.
But so there was a scene where we might have talked about this before. I can't remember. But there was a scene where Jeremiah Chechik wanted to get a certain like surprised reaction out of Chevy Chase, and so somebody I can't remember who it was came up with the idea of the fart makers.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I found it. I have it at home, like in its original box and everything, and it's just like the little rubber thing with
That's
the red
cool.
top. So you put in your hand and it goes. So yes, I have the fart maker, and I also kept the back of my director's chair from Christmas Vacation that had my name on it. But else than that, like prop wise, not really.
No.
Yeah.
The chair? That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gotten lost in the shuffle over the years, so unfortunately I don't have it anymore. But I did at some point.
Yeah. Well, I joked, this was a bunch of episodes ago, we talked about some of our summer vacations, and I went to this place called the Santa's Workshop of New York.
Where's that?
It's up near like Lake Placid.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, yeah.
And so anyway, I'm this little kid. The guy makes me this ring from a reindeer's, like the nail for their reindeer shoes or whatever. And he tells me that if you lose it, Rudolph's nose is going to turn blue. So for the entirety of my childhood, I am petrified of losing this silly little ring. And now as an adult, like, I know it is in this house somewhere. I just don't know
Well,
exactly
because his
where.
nose has not turned blue
It's
yet.
true, yeah. So I held up my end of the bargain. It's just if I was called on the carpet to be like, okay, we need the ring,
Right.
I'd be like, all right, I got to tear the house apart.
That's not a cool thing to tell
No,
a kid.
no. But
It worked.
Generation X,
Right.
The
we
anxiety.
we were just like, kid, you're gonna do this, or you're gonna do it now.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. So. But anyway, back to Goonies. Did you ever cross paths with any of the actors in this?
Yes, actually, I met Corey Feldman at one of the Bonnaroo music festivals that I was at, where he was performing, and that was right around the time that I was trying to get my podcast that never came to be off the ground, which was talking to child actors. Did we talk about this last time?
We just kind of
Mentioned.
touched
Yeah,
on it.
so I had this idea about, 10 years ago now, like, to start a podcast talking to child actors and basically, pulling back the curtain on the realities of being a child actor. And I did a bunch of interviews. I did, like 2 handfuls of interviews with different child actors. This was back when I was living in LA, so I had access to more people.
Yeah.
And I was able to meet Corey Feldman, and the access that I had I was working for the festival, so that's how I was able to have access to him. And we sat and talked for a little bit, and he was performing with his Corey and the Angels band, so I got to see them too, which was an interesting experience. And he gave me his email address, and I emailed him, but he never got back in touch with me, unfortunately. But it was an interesting experience talking to him, because even 10 years ago, he unfortunately has just kind of gone down his own rabbit hole of life. And, his story is such a sad one. I read his biography, or autobiography. Is it an autobiography when you write it yourself? Yeah. So his autobiography, and his parents just didn't care about him and totally used him as a meal ticket. And, and he was one of the ones that was just passed around physically. And, he's such a product of his upbringing. And unfortunately, when you think about child actors that really were, that succumbed to these pitfalls of the industry, he's one of them. And it's just so sad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry to bring down everybody with that story, but yes.
No, but
yes.
it unfortunately, for all the joy that we got as people just watching and enjoying film, there's that ugly underbelly that unfortunately, he had to be exposed to, and unfortunately was a victim of.
He was a casualty of. But, Corey was a phenomenal actor.
Yeah.
Mouth is such a great character, and he nails it.
Yeah.
And even, what was I watching with him recently? I can't remember. There was something else, but I just was so impressed with his performance.
Yeah.
And he was a very talented actor, and one can only wonder where his career would have gone had he had more support in life.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we watched Stand By Me not that long ago and talked about it. And I mean, the power of, all of the emotion that he shows in that, and I guess some parallels to his actual life probably there.
Yeah.
It was really a phenomenal performance.
That's a movie I need to see again. It's been many years since I've seen it, but and another one that kind of freaks you out when you're young.
Yeah.
but it just was so good. And
Yeah.
River Phoenix, oh my God.
Yeah. But I think, I'm sorry, go
Oh, I was just gonna say, you're talking about Corey Feldman, the scene in Goonies where they think they find the treasure and it's the wishing well, and he comes up and he's like, "This is my wish."
Yeah.
Like as a little kid, I was like, "Oh," like,
Martin Sheen
Yeah.
on the who's
Yeah,
Martin
yeah.
Sheen, President Kennedy
Yeah.
on the 50-cent piece. But yeah, no, he does. He emotes really well, and it's believable, and and that's like a rich moment for his character because it shows that Mouth actually has feelings, and he's not just
Yeah.
this jerk
Yeah.
who's sarcastic and
Yeah.
always sticking it to everybody.
yeah, yeah.
And the cocaine goes in this drawer.
I was just going to say that part with Rosalita. And when we watched it this last time, I think I found that especially hilarious
Yeah.
because I think it was paying more attention to it.
Yeah.
It's just so hilarious.
Mhm.
Yeah.
A cocaína, a cucaracha. Poor Rosalita.
So I heard that the scene at the end where they first see the pirate ship, that they were like not allowed to see it. And
Yeah,
then so
that
when
was
they-
a genuine reaction.
Yeah, which was pretty cool. And I heard the same thing was true in Stand By Me when they see the body for the first time.
Oh, I bet.
That was all like just genuine reaction, like turn and look.
Was that a
and-
Spielberg movie too, Stand By Me?
No,
I
that's
don't
a
remember.
Rob Reiner.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Another classic
Yeah.
80s director.
Yeah.
Speaking of Rob Reiner, did you guys hear that there's another Spinal Tap coming out?
No.
There's another. It's in the can. It's coming out, I
Nice.
think, next month,
Okay.
or maybe before the end of the year.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's very exciting to me.
That is cool.
There's sort of this balance though between like all this stuff that's coming back, and sometimes it's like, oh, it's so great, and other times they're like, oh, couldn't we just leave it alone? Like it just depends on where they take it. So I'll be
I
curious.
think I
where they take
mostly
it.
feel that way.
Yeah.
I don't know that I've been very excited about a reboot or a many years later sequel coming
Yeah.
out. And I mean, there's still talk about a Goonies too.
Yes.
Yeah, and I thought all the main actors, they were in like a little, I don't know why they were all together. Maybe it was like a Comic-Con or
It was,
something.
yeah, it was a reunion.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
they all basically were like, yeah, we'll do it. But
Well,
seemed like
right. So
Spielberg's the
nothing.
one that's
Right.
like,
Exactly. He's the holdout, and I think it was actually Corey Feldman that said that.
Yeah.
He said, we're all on board. We're all ready to do it.
Yeah.
We just need you to say yes.
Put it together.
Yeah. And I think if that were the case, I would be a little bit more open to it.
If it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it was everybody and if Spielberg did it. But I just don't like my classic movies being fucked with. I just don't.
Yes.
Yeah, like it don't taint them.
Yeah.
Like Happy Gilmore 2 came out. There's some people that said it was good and other people that don't, and I'm like, I guess I should watch it, but I don't.
It was okay.
Yeah, but like,
It was-
what's the point?
If it's not a theatrical release, don't do it. That's how I feel.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Like, because it just seems like they just kind of like mail it in. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, we're going to get Gen Xers. They're all going to watch it.
Yeah.
And we're just going to put a half-hearted project out there without
Yeah,
really.
it's a money grab.
Yeah.
And not like Adam Sandler needs the money. He's worth like $500 million or something crazy like that.
I just wonder sometimes, like with that though, because he's so heavily involved in like both ends of the whole production, that for him it's just like, I love the experience of making that film.
Yeah.
If I'm at a point now where I can do whatever I want.
Right.
I
That's a
want
good
to I want to
point.
relive that experience and bring in like anybody that I want to, because they will do it
Yeah.
if I ask them. That it's not so much even like, I'm sure he does it for his fans, but also like for him as the creator, he gets so much of a kick out of it that he's like, I don't care if it does well or not.
Right.
It's not necessarily about that. It's about me being able to do it.
Well,
Which I can
Netflix certainly
totally-
wants the money for
Oh
it.
yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. Yeah. There are plenty of people who want the money.
Oh, yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, the other thing that I didn't see that I just couldn't bring myself to was the Coming to America sequel.
I
Yeah,
yeah.
I didn't see it either.
That's another perfect movie that just should not be touched.
Yeah, agreed.
What was it with 48 Hours? They redid
No,
that
no, no.
too.
Oh, Beverly Hills
Beverly
Cop.
Oh,
Hills
Beverly
Cop,
Hills Cops.
yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you watch the most recent one that came out?
No.
Okay. So
I didn't either.
Lee and I watched it, And it was one of those things where you're like, Eddie looks fantastic. Everybody else looks terrible.
Yeah.
But it was like, okay, like it pays homage to the original to some degree, but you're like, we should just watch the original if that's what we want right now.
Right.
This reboot isn't necessarily making it any better.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the problem, right?
Yeah.
Growing up when we did, where there were just so many of these amazing classic movies that people want to. I mean, they made a series out of Fatal Attraction.
Oh, really?
I didn't know
I did
that.
not know that.
With Joshua Jackson.
Huh.
It came out 3 years ago.
Is that Dawson's Creek? Is that what
Yeah.
Johnson?
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I did not watch it. I was not interested in it. I was not a proponent of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess it was supposed to be from the narrated or from the perspective of my character as an adult, looking back on it.
Really?
Something like that. Yeah. And that's just another thing where they're like, oh, Fatal Attraction, that was a movie that did really well, is very deeply rooted in popular culture. Like, let's dredge that up and totally ruin it. But yeah, it's again, we come from a generation where all of these amazing pieces of media, whatever it was, shows or movies or commercials or whatever, were produced, and because there are no original ideas left,
Right.
they just have to keep recycling and recycle. I mean, they came out with another Superman movie this year for the umpteenth time.
And even that, I'm shocked at DC how often they're like, you know what, we need a new Superman. Henry Cavill is old news. We need a new, younger version of Superman.
Well, they did it with Batman to death.
True. Yeah.
And I'm sure that there will be more.
Yeah.
Because, as we age and as the actors age, they age out.
Yeah.
And new actors emerge that can step into that role. And there are, new, younger people that are stepping into the role of the interested... Sorry, I'm just looking at the screen.
The eye patch guy, naked eye patch guy.
Yeah, what is with him?
Thrown in there for some reason.
Yeah, it's so bizarre.
It's a nod to One-Eyed Willie.
Oh, there you go. I never even thought about that.
The bar of soap around the neck is...
And actually soap on a rope.
Yeah, that's right.
Don't drop it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even remember what I was talking about. No, it was my fault. I just happened to look.
No, but to your point, there's always new actors. There's always somebody who's up and coming that they're like, okay, that actor is really well known. We love them, but this guy's younger. Everybody loves him. He's got a new, younger audience.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Out you go. So.
Yeah, I mean, because in the end, it's about ratings and about box office dollars and... Hollywood's got to make money. So, right. and it's a changing industry too, because people aren't going to the theaters as much anymore. They want their stuff on streaming, and that then changes the landscape of how actors are paid, and it's just the way that the human race is evolving in all the ways. It just is crazy.
Yeah, because you had mentioned watching movies versus everybody wanting to binge a show. Every time when I finally get everybody around, the TV, I'm like, let's watch a movie, and everybody's like, no, let's find a show to watch. I'm like, why do you want to watch a show that, 8 hour? Like let's just watch an hour and a half movie and be done with it. But I don't know what.
Because I think there's a finality to it. They want more than just what's happening in that hour and a half or 2 hour period, unless you're watching like Lord of the Rings or something like that, where you have multiples to watch. So it's just, it's that insatiable sort of quality, right, that we all have. It just we just want more.
The doom scrolling.
Yeah.
More,
right.
more,
that
more,
too. Yeah, exactly.
I think there's also something to the social dynamic of it, where we would go out as friends and hang out. That's what we did. Now there's a lot more of I'm going to stay home and just do something on my phone or whatever. So if you get into a show, now you've got your social group that you're friends with the people on the show, which I'll admit I'm guilty to in the winter. I'm like, okay, what's my show this winter? What's the apartment that I'm going to hang out with these, 20 somethings and feel like I'm not an old man, but.
Well, and it's the type of thing where you can connect with the people in your real life about the show
sure.
and talk about
Yeah.
it. And like, I remember when Lost was still out, it was the last season, and I was living in San Francisco, and I had become friends with the friends through other friends who lived in my neighborhood, and they would have like watch parties.
Oh, yeah.
And you know, and that was fun because then you could like discuss it, and Lost was definitely a show worth discussing.
Yeah.
But you know, my stepdaughter, the older one, she's really into Wednesday,
Yes.
Yeah.
and she like begged me to watch it. And so today, actually, the second season, the highly anticipated second season premieres, and she's so excited. She's probably watching it right now. But I watched it with her, and you know, it's like a bonding thing. You know, it's a show that we can watch together, and we can talk about. And you know, she's 11, so she's definitely at the age where, you know, we can have a conversation about it and a back and forth, and she has opinions and I have my opinions, and you know, so in that way it's good. But I think that she's more apt to kind of get into something like that than to just sit down and watch a movie, especially not a movie that her boring ass parents are gonna you know, suggest.
Yeah.
It was this summer vacation that we took our kids to an actual movie theater and watched an actual movie.
Wow.
And
What was that like?
it was awesome. It was so good to be back in the theater. And like, I mean, granted, we got our tickets late, so we were in the second row. So we're like, oh, this is fantastic.
Oh, that sucks.
And it was kind of funny too, because at this theater, it was an Apple movie. It was F1.
Oh.
So on Thursdays in this theater, they turn the closed captioning on for the hearing impaired.
Oh, really?
So, you know, letters this big right in front of us
That
at the
probably
bottom of
made
the
it an
screen.
even more interesting and viewing experience for you being so close.
It was crazy, but at the same time, it was fantastic. Like, just the whole immersive sound of, and I mean, you've got race cars, you know, zipping by you at 150 miles an hour, but
Yeah.
it was great. It was awesome to go back to a theater, and I'm like, okay, I need to recommit to this, because I was a moviegoer. Like, once a week at a minimum, I was at a movie theater seeing something. So it's still fun.
Yeah, I don't remember the last movie I saw in the theater. And seeing, maybe when I was a kid, I enjoyed it a lot more, but then into my adulthood, I did not enjoy watching movies in the theater as much. And I think that was just kind of my, you know, cynical, pessimistic kind of, you know, 20s and 30s shitty self that was like, movies are expensive.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'd rather sit home and watch a DVD where I can, you know, like pause it and go to the bathroom, and I don't have to pay for my own snacks, and I don't have to like deal with other people around me. And I think I still kind of feel that way, but not as much. I've sort of softened back into it. But this year I was thinking that I have yet to do it. I've never actually seen a movie by myself.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've never gone to the movies solo
Well,
before.
Let me recommend one for you.
Oh.
When the Blair Witch Project comes back.
Oh my God.
I saw that by myself, and I walked out of there like,
Yeah, you had nobody to grab onto.
oh my God.
Yikes.
Was that real?
Yeah. No, it wasn't.
No.
But it seemed like it. So yeah, it's been on my list of things to do to go to the movies by myself, and I think that it's an activity that I should make a regular thing for me, because that way I can not worry about who I'm with or who's around me. I can just like focus on what's happening. And the other thing that I was sort of like about was that I didn't like the trailers. And some people go to the movies to see the trailers, and I never understood that. And I think it's because they loved going to the movies, and so therefore they were getting excited about more movies that they could see in the theater.
Yeah.
And for me, I didn't like seeing movies in the theater, so I'm like, I don't really care about that. But yeah, and there's a movie theater not super far from my house, and I should take advantage of that.
Yeah. Well, if you want the nostalgia, though, there's one Northampton, which is about 30 minutes north of here. The Roxy Theater is still open. It's like the old classic orchestra style theater.
Nice.
It's actually been in a couple movies. There's a Brendan Fraser movie. I'm drawing a blank on the name of it.
Oh, was that the one with Alicia Silverstone?
It's
like the Blast from the Past.
No. It was more serious. I'll think of it. But
Okay.
anyway, the beginning of it, drive down his like hometown, and there's the Roxy Theater, and like all of us were like, oh, that's where we live. But anyway, it's still open, and they do first run, but it's just one theater, so it's whatever they have, that they're showing. But it's
Thank
pretty
you
cool.
for that. Yeah, no, I'll definitely check it out.
And then there's another one up in Bangor, which is north of here. All summer they were just showing old classics in the theater.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, so that was cool.
And there's the drive-in.
I was
Yeah.
just going to say Shankweiler's,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fun.
Yeah. Well, and to your point about the previews, Shankweiler's and the Roxy, they do it's like they pulled out the preview from 1940 or something. It's like an old cartoon, and go to the concession stand.
Let's go out to the
Yeah.
kitchen.
Yeah.
Right, the movies, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shankweiler's. I've only been there once. My husband and I took our stepdaughters a bunch of years ago to go see Hocus Pocus in the drive-in. Yeah, and we had a hard time getting the audio to work in the car, but it was all right. We had a good time.
Yeah. I took my old Walkman and got 2 little mini speakers.
Oh, fun!
And I take that along because the same thing. We took my truck, we parked backwards, and we're like, okay, now what?
Right.
The radio's on, but you cannot hear it at all. And, so
During the pandemic, the first official show that I saw was in Scranton at a drive-in. They Blackberry Smoke was playing, and my husband and I drove out there for it. And they set up parking spaces for everybody. That you had your parking space, and then you had a space next to you, essentially, to set up your zone. And that was such a cool way to see a concert.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is how they're going to do shows from now on. And this was in September of 2000. So we were still very much in the beginning, and nobody knew what was going to happen. And I would totally do that again. That was a cool way to watch it. But they did it at a drive-in in Scranton.
Yeah. I had seen some preliminary concepts for that whole thing too, where they were going to make these pods on wheels.
Oh.
That they would meet you at your car in the parking lot, and then you would drive yourself out to your spot to watch the show.
Oh,
and I was
really?
That sounds very Jetsons-like.
They're putting way too much effort and money into this COVID concert setup.
Right.
Just let us sit in our cars.
Yeah.
But yeah, glad we're not there anymore. Holy cow!
Oh my God.
Yeah.
For
I remember
sure.
the first time we went to dinner, and there was your table's here, and there was 25 feet around you, and we're
Mm-hmm.
we are out in public, and we are eating.
Yep.
Oh my gosh!
I had an experience like that. Ed and I went to Bolit
Okay, yeah.
in Bethlehem.
Oh, they had those little tent things outside.
Well, they did,
Yeah.
but
That's where we went.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, with little tents.
Well, we didn't get a tent. We sat at a little two-top that was right next to, literally my back was to the front door.
Oh.
And we had to, a two-top table is not very big. And they also had to make room for the little mini, and it was in January.
Okay.
So,
Oh, jeez.
So the tent outside was not really an option.
no, well, they did.
Oh, they
but
did, yeah.
We just
Yeah.
didn't have a reservation for the tent. We had a table, and we had, there was a table that was empty in between us and the people that were sitting next to us. But yeah, half the table was taken up by the heater,
Oh, okay.
which ran out of fuel.
Oh, jeez.
And yeah, that was not the best experience.
Is there a Yelp review from Ellen?
No, I took it easy on them.
Yeah. Ruby Sue gives it 2 thumbs.
Oh, right, totally. I was shitting rocks.
Oh, that's funny.
That is funny.
Any final thoughts on Goonies and recommend? Thumbs up?
Oh yeah, all the
2
thumbs
thumbs
up, or as Homer would give it, 11 thumbs up. Yeah, I can't say enough about it, and I always wish that I could have been in it.
Yeah.
And I think that everybody felt that way,
Yeah.
especially the part where they're going down the water slide
Yeah.
before through the caves,
Yeah.
before they eventually come out into the large cave where the ship was. But yeah, I mean, I will watch this movie another 50 times before I die, because it's just the best, and I absolutely adore it.
Yeah. I wanted to be Data in the worst.
Really?
Data. Oh yeah, with all
Funny.
those gadgets and stuff. I was like, that's what I want.
Yeah, setting booty traps.
Booby traps.
That's what I said. I said booty traps. Be quiet. Shh.
That is one thing I did pick up on the movie. How many times they use that "that's what I said" line? Like it's from, because I thought it was just when he said the booty traps, but no, they have it all. It's all throughout. It's
Yeah.
kind of funny.
Oh, and I think, I don't know. I don't think that we talked about this last time, but I'm having deja vu. Did you guys ever notice that when they're in the attic and they find the map, right before they find the map, Data and Brand are like messing around and whatever, and you hear, I can't remember if the camera's actually on them or you hear them in the background, but Brand does something and Data says, "Stop it, Josh."
Oh really?
Yeah. Like Josh Brolin.
Yeah.
Yeah. He says, "Stop it, Josh."
That's funny.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go back and
Yeah.
rewind it.
Mhm.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Oh, and how scary was that scene right there? When you first see his face, the sloth's face.
Yep.
That scared me so
Oh,
bad.
and here's where the Baby Ruth is going to come up. Yeah.
Ruth?
And Joe Pantoliano is like so classic.
Yeah.
It's not a hairpiece.
Oh, and how great! I can't remember her name. The throw mama from the train, the actress.
Yeah, Anne something or other, I think.
Spot on.
Oh,
I mean, it's just perfect.
Mhm.
They're real. Like, like so many times the bad guys are fake or they're trying to. Like, you believe those are the Fratellis. It's
Yep.
Yeah.
so good.
For sure.
Yeah.
And Agent Johnson from Die Hard.
Yeah.
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 Johnson and Johnson.
Well, and Joe ends up being in the Matrix, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. He's the guy who turns on him.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. And he's bald.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was losing his hair for a long time. And I mean, I think everybody, although I don't know that Andy has really done much.
I looked,
She's-
and she was in Summer Rental the same year.
I just mean like recently.
No, that's what I mean. Like she was in that, then she was in a couple more things. I think into the '90s, and then sporadically, like one or two things through the 2000s. But yeah, she doesn't.
Yeah, but everybody
Done a
else
lot.
has really gone on to do. Although I guess Cohen Chunk.
He got into like more of the.
He's an entertainment lawyer now.
Yeah, he got into the other side of it.
Yes, but like Martha Plimpton and Sean Astin and Ki Hui. How do you pronounce his name?
Ki Hu Huang, I think, or something like that. Huen?
Sorry,
I don't know.
Data.
Data.
He has had this whole resurgence. He
Oh
won
my
an
gosh,
Oscar.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, everybody's. Well, I guess Corey's kind of doing his own thing. But most people from this movie have gone on to have illustrious careers and
Yeah.
done a lot of things, and it's great.
It's kind of funny where they say, like, you can tell how old someone is by where they know Sean Astin from.
Oh right,
Whether it's Goonies, Lord of the Rings, or
Stranger Things.
Stranger Things. What a career. That's
Ugh.
awesome.
Just depresses me to think about.
It's funny though with his Primatine Mist that he's doing the whole time. I actually had one of those for like a brief period of time because I played soccer and I would get like winded and like I feel like Primatine Mist commercials were on all the time.
I
And someone was
forgot
like-
that was a thing.
Yeah, it was like if you didn't have asthma but you had trouble breathing,
Right.
you could get them over the counter.
Yep.
And so I had it in my soccer bag for like a year where I'd be like, "Am I having trouble? I don't know. I feel good now."
Oh, here's the Baby Ruth.
There it is.
And look, you can see the perforation in it
Yeah.
where he breaks it in half.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. Wow, you have seen this movie 50 times.
And I have the eye for this sort of thing.
Yeah.
And the guy that played Sloth was like a famous football player.
Yeah. I think it was like 4 or 5 hours it took for them to get him into makeup.
I bet.
The only thing in this movie that I will say bothered me upon rewatch was the fact that Chunk at the end of the movie says, "You're going to come live with me
You're
now."
gonna live with me now, right? No discussion with his parents.
No, yeah. we're just
You're
gonna-
saying that as a dad.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
You're like, the hell he is.
Yeah.
But I mean, his parents seem like they're cool.
Yeah.
They brought him Domino's. So, they're like very,
Supportive.
Italian and
conscientious people.
Yeah.
No, they're Jewish. I mean, not that there
That's
aren't
right, 'cause
Italian
he
Jews,
says-
but
yeah,
you know,
yeah, that's right.
bullet holes the size of matzo balls.
That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Yeah,
And his Hebrew school play.
that's right.
When he was playing, he stole his somebody's toupee, his grandfather's or
Yes.
somebody's, and he glued it on his face.
Another great scene was his confession. to
Oh,
the
Oh, yeah.
Fidelis.
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Classic.
Yeah.
Well, and then when he finally gets on with the police, and he's like, the officer's like, yeah, and then this and that, and then he's like, and the creatures that if you dump water on and they multiply,
Yeah.
and I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, right.
Yeah,
Little nod
the
to
gremlins
the
nod.
Gremlins, yeah.
Totally. There are a lot of different things like that. I think.
Well, when you act in Latch-Key Kids, the movie, which
Right.
we're writing, there's going to be a lot of those nods. So,
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Who am I going to play?
Well, there's a few characters you could play. I
Okay.
think, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Fleshing it out.
Yes, I'm down for it.
Do you want to play the evil Soviet teacher?
Can you do a Russian accent?
Yeah.
Not really, but I could try.
Even if it sounds fake, we're okay with it. Like, well, I was just watching Austin Powers, and that actress from Third Rock from the Sun, very tall, good-looking blonde woman,
Kristen Vangsness.
and she plays like a Russian model, and it's the funniest accent you could imagine. Yeah.
Yeah, I forayed into audiobooks for a hot second a bunch of years ago, and a woman had hired me to voice a couple of her books. And I would have done the third, but I was like, this is too much work. I'm not going to do it. And the second one took place in like Quebec. And so I had to like try to do a French accent. I don't speak French. I don't really know anything about it. So I did my very best. And it's funny because my mom said, because she's like, you should read the reviews on the audiobook that you did. They're really good. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't need to do that. And she said, no, the accent that I did, I'm sure they just like picked me apart. And she said, no, people say that it sounds so believable. And I'm like, really? Have they been to France? Like, they've been to, French Canadian?
What was the name of the books?
Murder She Floats and Murder She Slopes. One like takes place during the summer at like a lake.
Oh.
It's like a murder mystery kind of thing, and then the other one takes place up in the mountains.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So take it easy on me if you can't.
Well, and after you listen, go to Cameo and send
Right.
Ellen a
Yes.
message.
There you go. Do your French Canadian accent for me.
You're going to get all these requests now for
Right,
a happy
totally.
birthday. And
I was gonna try to do it now, but I'm not I have to like get myself into character.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
I've always sort of like played around with, voice, whatever, dialects and stuff.
Mhm.
But someone will be like, well, do this, do that. And I cannot go from one to the other. They all just sort of morph into one really
Yeah.
bad nothing,
Right, a mishmash of accent. Yeah, that makes you have even more respect for the professional
Oh my
voice
gosh,
artists
yeah.
out there that are able to, do hundreds of different voices.
Yeah. Or even an actor who's like English or
Oh,
from
yeah.
Great Britain, and they just do this perfect American accent or
There
whatever.
are a few of those.
Yeah.
I think that there are more Australian actors that are adept at doing American accents. And it's funny because I'm such a jerk when I watch movies and things, and my husband probably hates me for it, but we're sitting there and somebody's just talking and I'm like, oh, they're definitely not American. And then of course I have to look it up and I'm like, nope. They're from Germany or they're from, Australia, or they're from wherever they are. Actually a lot of them come from like Scandinavia. But yeah, I can hear it.
You can pick them out.
Yeah.
Liar.
Right, totally. They're just acting. Or trying to.
Trying. Yeah.
I had no idea Hugh Laurie. I used to watch House, and somebody told me, "Oh, he's British." I'm like, "No way."
You couldn't hear it?
No, but yeah, I'm
Look at that face says it all.
I
She's
had
like-
no idea.
Rookie.
Oh, yeah,
He
totally.
sounds so American. What do you mean?
What Americans are you talking to?
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Ratings?
I mean, if what are we doing? 5 stars?
Yeah, 5 stars. We'll go 5
That's-
stars.
6.
Yeah.
How about that? 6 stars.
7.
Oh, I see. And you were at 11.
Yeah. 11 thumbs up.
Awesome.
That's funny. Well, cool. Ellen, as always, appreciate you being here with us.
Thank you,
It's always a
guys.
blast.
Awesome.
Yeah, I am so thrilled to be able to sit here with you again.
All right.
It's-
Great.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Cool. Thanks.
Yeah.